Welcome to Kitchen 143. I am your host, Michelle Aventajado, your resident mama in Manila, and today we are out and about in Ortigas Center. Yes, we're in Mandaluyong at the Westin Manila, and of course we're here to celebrate their first anniversary. Happy anniversary, Westin Manila. We're so glad that you're here. What a wonderful way to mark this milestone by launching Cantabria. Cantabria is the newest concept in collaboration with Chef Chele Gonzalez, and we're so excited because we get to give you a sneak peek. As always, we're live on the Rappler YouTube, Facebook, and X channels. You can also check us out on the Momma in Manila Facebook page as well. Leave us a comment. Tell us which of Chef Chele's concepts you like the most. Maybe tell us the last time you visited the Westin Manila, because we want to hear from you as well. Okay, joining me on cam today, we have three handsome gentlemen. We have Chef Chele Gonzalez. We also have GM Alex Deach, and we also have Chef de Cuisine Ivan Sordo. Hi, Chef.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. I have
Thank
a drink
you.
in front of me and having you. So
Thank you for having us. Cheers.
cheers.
We're here in Cantabria. Chef, you have so many different things going on, all making Filipinos very happy with
Thank you.
your innovative way to serve Spanish cuisine, tempered with Filipino ingredients, taking into consideration. I mean, you're here in the Philippines now how long?
13 years.
13 years. 13 wonderful years. And this newest concept, Cantabria, tell us about it. Tell us why Cantabria and what we can expect when we come and visit.
So Cantabria is my home region where I born. My home. I have two homes right now, the Philippines, but Cantabria is where I born and where I have all of my childhood. Remember my family, my mom, and everything that is related of where I coming from, my heritage.
Yeah.
So I think it's a beautiful region, border with the Basque Country. Everybody knows Basque Country because of the food, but I believe that Cantabria is also magical, and I wanted, to bring this magic to the table in Manila.
Right. So, and that's definitely defined in the type of food that you're bringing to the table. This magical experience, we're looking at more seafood dishes?
Yes. In the Cantabria region, we are facing, the Atlantic, and the Cantabrico, that is the ocean, the sea there.
Right.
And it's, they said it's also, in the same area of Galicia and the Basque Country.
Okay.
And they said that it's one of the best seafoods in the world.
Okay.
It's because the currents, it's a microclimate there, the nutrients in the waters. They said that it just tastes, so powerful that it's something very attached of how I used to eat and go out when I was a kid. So when we talk about luxury in the north of Spain, before this new trend of steaks, it was always about seafoods and fish.
So luxury meant seafood, and seafood meant a celebration.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So what was it like for you as a kid? I mean, we're talking about your roots. This is your heritage. This is where you're from. You're bringing it to all of us here, so we don't have to travel to try it. How do you take maybe those comforting dishes or maybe those special dishes that you used to have during your childhood, and how much interpretation is there for what you bring to us on the table today?
So first, when I joined this venture with Westin, I was not so sure, to open a Spanish restaurant. But we finally agreed to do it. But I said, okay, if I do it, it cannot be the typical tapas and paella. It had to be something, that it really have sense to me.
Yes.
I believe the diversity of Spanish cuisine is amazing.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the food that is exported is always the same.
Yes.
So I wanted to have something that, it had to be special for me.
Yeah.
To make sure that it's special for the diners.
Okay.
So in this case, I remember we didn't go out that much to eat but when we go, always the special occasion, it was about seafoods and fish, especially, grill or roasted fish from the waters of my region. So this is what we bring here. We have a show kitchen.
Yes.
Where we
Right here, you can see it back there.
Yes.
You'll get to see that too.
And it's, of course, Cantabria, aside of beautiful seafood, we call it the infinite landscape. So we have mountains, it's very green.
Yes.
Sometimes it's a lot of surfing, you can be surfing, see the ocean and the mountains with the snow in the back. So we also have beautiful cows, beautiful steaks. So we have a nice selection here as well. But again, going back to what I wanted to highlight here is a more contemporary interpretation of seafoods. So that is how we call it sea products. So I wanted to bring, very high quality of ingredients. Don't touch it too much. Let the ingredient speak by itself.
Yeah.
And start with an oyster, with a scallop, of with anchovies. The anchovies?
Yes.
The best anchovies in the world come from a small town in my region called Santonia in Cantabria.
Santonia.
So we are known for the best anchovies in the world that are also part of our...
So we can try them here, the best anchovies.
We will try it here.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. So the modern interpretation of these dishes, we can expect, northern Spanish cuisine. We were talking, you were saying there's a difference between what people serve in the north versus what people serve in the south. And this has a lot to do with the climate, right? And the weather, the microclimate that you were talking about. How does that differ? And, while you said we don't have the typical paella and sangria and tapas, you did bring in, there is one, at least, dish of paella. Yes? So you can have that here, but look for everything else, because I think what you want us to know and learn is that it's so much more wide, and the characteristics of Spanish cuisine is more than just those maybe very popular dishes that everybody is familiar with.
Of course we have it. We need to also, as living here for 20 years, the chef's biggest commitment is to make our diners happy.
There you go.
So we have at this moment, a seafood paella.
Okay.
That in phrase, the most important in a paella is make a stock with all of these seafood flavors, and then we cook the rice there. So we have there, but we also have other dishes that are more entitled. In the north of Spain, for example, the rice is more soupy, it's more creamy, it's more like a risotto because it's colder.
Yes.
And then,
so it's heavier,
something that, you want to make it comfortable. So we have black English squid, but it's not paella, it's a little bit more creamy.
Ooh, I'm excited for that. Are we going to get to see that today?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So we do a very, very traditional stew. My mom used to cook it all the time in the special occasions during summertime.
Okay.
So we cook the onion until it becomes sweet, and then we put white wine, garlic, the squid, and we cook it for 2 hours. And then with that beautiful stew, very similar at some point to the squid adobo or the adobo pusit, but with no ginger and vinegar. But with that beautiful stew is the base of this beautiful black rice. So still rice dishes, but again, more entitled to my heart.
So I can imagine that's cooking and stewing right now so that we can enjoy that. Those dishes, and then this feature, the seafood bar as well. Drinks, obviously all of this is paired lovely with drinks, and we do have a drink here, so I'm gonna cheers to you guys again. Cheers. What are we drinking here?
So you are having a night in Santander. Santander is the capital of Cantabria.
Okay. It's delicious.
Some citrus, aromatic and refreshing. And then I have the version of sangria from the north of Spain, because we have a lot of similarities in food between the Basque Country and Cantabria. It's just one, it's just border.
Right.
So it's called calimocho. So it's the north of Spain and Basque Country sangria. So this is something that I used to drink a lot when I'm there. It's refreshing. And this is something that I wanted to have in the menu too.
Exciting. Now, I know you're traveling, you're doing so many different things, but in between all of these different concepts, you have launched a new restaurant, also just Asador, right? Why don't you tell us a little bit? I mean, because for those of you that don't know, and if you haven't Googled Chef Chele, he's a big deal, guys. From Vasque to Gallery, and then the concepts now that are making things more accessible for others of deli, where you're curing meats, and then Chef Chele's kitchen. There's so many different concepts, and even Samira in Tagaytay, and now Asador, and finally here, Cantabria. Where do you find the inspiration for all these different concepts? Who, yes, I think they're woven, and they definitely are all you, but just a little bit different.
I put a lot of effort and hard work to make sure that each concept complement each other, and each concept is different to each other. So we bring different experience. I don't want to have a formula that I copy paste. It's not me. I need to bring creativity, and I need to bring a different experiences. For me, to cook food is and develop a menu is fascinating, but at the same time I put the love and the time to create the food is also to create an experience. To go to a restaurant is not only just have a good meal. There are restaurants there, maybe that you just sit, have a quick food, but a meal and go. But the restaurants that I want to create, at least the ones like Westin, is about an experience.
Yes.
To bring you to something a little bit deeper, and have 2 or 3 hours of a beautiful time. So, well, I think I'm a creative person. I think we all are creative.
Yeah.
We all need to believe we're creative.
Yes.
Okay? And creativity needs to go together with knowledge. You need to know what you are doing. An artist needs to be art chef artist, I believe so. Artists need to have creativity, but they need to have the skills and the techniques and the knowledge
To execute.
to know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I don't think new things will come. We have Asador that they will be launched in May this year.
We're excited for that. We're excited for that.
And we will let you know, and we will invite you also to come.
Wonderful.
But aside that, I don't think I'm planning to do anything else new. We will put a lot of also love and effort in Deli by Chele, because it's also, something more accessible, and
Yes.
we have some plans. But I think Cantabria is right now one of my babies that I need to feed and care and give so much love to become. We want to become one of the most unique and best Spanish places in town.
Wonderful. And I love the location. So you guys know we're right on San Miguel Ave in Ortigas Center, where we have a beautiful view of the city. I know that there's going to be also a second part that's opening. You can see the interior is very modern, clean, welcoming. It feels wonderful to be in this space, wide open windows. I know there's a full bar as well, so you guys can come and check it out, of course, and learn about all of the new and exciting things that Chef is serving up that are deeply rooted in where he's from. So I'm sure there will be stories with each dish.
Yes. Well, I will explain, the concept, even that, probably the signature, the one thing that will make it more special, it will be the seafoods. We actually bring turbot.
Yeah.
The
I was gonna
rodaballo
ask
is
you.
very trendy right now and very valuable. So we fly every week from the waters of Cantabria. We bring it here and then we grill it, very traditional style. So the menu is a journey between these small bites at the beginning that are more sophisticated. Then we go to tapas,
Yes.
where it's more creative, that we have flavors from around the world. That is also Chele Gonzalez expressions of creativity, technique, and to offer tapas that nobody else have. Well, we have gambas al ajillo that, but you will try today others that they are unique.
Okay.
And then we will go to the main course, where the main course is a little bit more straightforward. Some smaller plates are more creative, but when we go to the rodaballo or the roasted fish, those dishes I grew up when I was a kid. Those ones we keep the tradition. we keep the honest of the ingredient, and we bring, all this comfort and traditional flavors and ingredients from Cantabria to the table.
So that would make your mama proud.
I'm sure, and she will be salivating, to try, the turbo too.
All right, so we're so excited to try some of these dishes, and Chef, I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
One more thing, we also have steaks and meats,
Okay.
but we have Iberito steak that is one of my favorites. Not only seafood is serving here, there's so many things. I think I need to go back to the kitchen and cook for you.
I'm ready.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And now we're back. Joining me on cam is General Manager for the Westin Manila, Alex Deach. I'm so glad we're together again.
Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, well, thanks for having us. So you guys would remember we visited earlier when the Westin, was still newly opened, and we had Chef Reg on cam at that time, right?
Yes.
And so since then, so many things have happened.
Yes.
We are now celebrating 1 year.
Correct.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
So now we're at full capacity. Everything is open? All the rooms are available?
Yes.
This restaurant is now open?
All the rooms are available.
Yeah.
We have our Heavenly Spa by Westin open.
The
since
spa
mid of
is
last
open.
year. We have all our banquet facilities.
Okay.
And we're now opening our Spanish restaurant Cantabria here on the level 32 on the roof.
And here we are on the roof. So tell us about the interiors. It feels so, it's modern yet classy. It's the windows, everything's very bright. We are on the 32nd floor, so we have a fabulous view.
Correct.
There's this side, but then there's another side that will open maybe a few months later.
So this restaurant was originally meant to be only a tapas bar.
Okay.
During the pandemic, we did a review of the concept, and we felt that we really need another dining venue, not just a bar. We then went into some changes in terms of the furniture and the concept, and we came up with this Cantabria restaurant, which is an authentic Spanish concept focusing on mostly the cuisine of the Cantabria region in Spain, which is known for its rich seafood and fish. And we found this very suitable for the market because seafood, as we all know, is very popular here in the Philippines.
Absolutely.
So yes, there are some Spanish elements in the restaurant, but we wanted to keep it contemporary, as you mentioned. So not too many Spanish accents, but just enough to make sure that you get the feel for this region. We're going to have some impressions on the walls later on that show you about Spain and Cantabria.
Okay.
And other than that, it's a rather contemporary, modern space.
And who better than to launch this menu with you than Chef Chele,
Yes.
right? Who is from Cantabria.
Yes, correct. And we were actually looking for quite a while. We had a lot of walkthroughs and discussions with different Spanish chefs or with different restaurant companies. But when Chef Chele came here, which was actually, he was one of the last of those that we had, on our list.
So you saved the best for last.
Yeah, probably. That's true. We could have started the other way. And he was excited, but at the same time also has not done hotel projects before. And, doing a restaurant in a hotel environment is always a bit different. And you have the image of the hotel and being too international. But we wanted to make sure we have an authentic concept, a restaurant that is authentic Spanish, and that happened to be on the roof level of a hotel. And that was really the target. And to make it unique, Chef Chele came up with the idea to focus on the Cantabria region, which again is special and not yet existing in the market.
Right.
So we were very excited about this path that concept was planned. And here we are about to open. So we've done 1 month of soft opening and simulation.
Right.
And so far, we're very happy.
Well, congratulations. I am sure that it will be very well received by the market, of course. Not
Sure.
just coupling the Westin, but also bringing in the Westin, and this collaboration between the Westin and Chef Chele obviously will delight diners who come in. For those that might not be familiar with the Westin, we know the Westin is very mindful in how you welcome your guests, right? We have the wellness pillars. Tell us how, you mentioned the spa is open.
Yeah.
Tell us how things have come or how things are going since the last time we were here. There's the wellness. We have running coaches if we wanted to take
Yeah.
advantage. There's in-room opportunities if you wanted to, practice in your own room, meditate, yoga. There's also the bed, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Tell us about, for those viewers who might not be so familiar with the brand, about the wellness pillars and why they should choose the Westin.
Sure. So Westin is part of the Marriott Group, one of over 30 brands that we have by now. And it's the brand that has more than 200 hotels across the
Worldwide.
globe, which are really focusing on wellness in travel. So
Yes.
meaning we want to support our guests with wellness and health supporting activities and initiatives to make sure that they leave more relaxed and rejuvenated compared to when they arrived.
I like that.
Very important is the Westin Heavenly Bed, the signature
That's
bed that we
it.
also spoke about last time.
Yeah.
That is really our signature, supporting the sleep well pillar. So to ensure that you have a very good rest,
Rest.
especially while you're traveling.
So
and
important.
Have, maybe jet lagged or have your meetings coming up the next morning. We also have our gear landings. So we're working with Hyperice and Bala, which are provider of fitness equipment that can
Okay.
be used in rooms. So
Yep.
we're borrowing this to the guests so they can have their own fitness activities in the comfort of their guest room. We have our lavender balm that supports the good night's sleep.
As well.
Yeah, and a
Yes.
couple of eat well initiatives as well, because healthy eating is very important as well. And that's where actually this restaurant concept fits very well, because the Spanish and Mediterranean cuisine is actually a quite healthy one.
It is, and actually there's even like a whole diet built around it, right? The
Yes.
Mediterranean diet. I
Correct.
like that. I do enjoy this type of food. So, hi chef,
Hello,
you're back.
I'm back with Chef Ivan.
All right.
I would like to introduce you Chef Ivan Sordo.
Okay.
Hi,
So Chef Ivan is from Cantabria.
Hi chef. How are you?
I'm good.
The two Cantabrians.
So we are two Cantabrians. Authentic, from the region, So we grew up, I think, sharing the same passion for the food, and we have the same, I think, background, heritage,
Yeah, pretty much.
pretty much.
I'm
Yeah.
from the city, you are from the coast.
The coast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. But, Iván, vete para acá, anda. Tú te me escabullas, espera. Let's give it back there.
Okay, ya,
Okay.
sabes que seguíamos con ellos.
Yeah, no. So I think Chef Ivan is going to be the one day by day who makes sure that the food in Cantabria is not only authentic because he's from Cantabria,
Right.
but also keep the standards, the taste, the magical of what we have in planning and developing the menu.
Wonderful. So this is the team
team.
that is making magic here at the Westin
In the kitchen,
Cantabria.
and we have a beautiful team also. The mixologists, the service team. But in the kitchen side, he had to be the one who made sure that the Cantabria flavors are on point.
I am sure they are. I'm excited. So tell us what type of Cantabria flavors we have on the table now.
These in particular ones, I'm going to bring something.
Okay.
¿Dónde está esto? Cógete
This
hostia,
looks
voy a coger el-
interesting. I'm so
Yes.
excited for them to explain
Yeah,
what we have here. So we have a little magic here that we're going to do on the table.
Okay. So this hopefully. Okay, that is a bechamel, a Parmesan bechamel.
Wow.
That
Okay.
we wanted to do something light in my home Saturdays. All Saturdays, my mom used to do cannelloni or so this is a little bit an approach. Inside we have a stew, beef stew, also typical from the region.
Okay.
Then we put a little bit of Parmesan, and we finish with a basil oil to have a little bit more of notes on there. The color, the flavor will come up.
Very nice.
That looks delicious.
So even that, so this is something that touch again of Saturday's lunch with my mom, doing cannelloni or doing doing in a more modern approach. So the tapas is where we expand our creativity. Then we have croquetas, one of the iconic Spanish tapas
Okay.
that we will always fight among friends. Say my man's or grandma's croquetas are better than yours. In this case, we are not going to fight because this is a unique flavor. It's chili crab croquetas
Okay.
with a lemon alioli in the top. The reason is, I travel a lot around Asia, and I think this recipe of chili crab is beautiful, and I wanted to do something unique in something very, familiar to everybody. So something familiar and unfamiliar in a dish. And then Iberico pork, the loin, we breaded sando style, and then we put all of the sando flavor. So we go a little bit to Japan here, and to give saltiness and a little bit of more delicate flavor, we have caviar on top.
Yeah, that looks very special.
So I will go this one first,
Okay.
the sando Iberico second, and then finish with this. I don't know if my mom will approve it or not, but they are delicious. Beef Parmesan bechamel, cannelloni.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Thank you, chefs.
Thank you.
Wonderful. This looks good. So we said, Chef had said that we want to start with the croquetas and then the sando and then the cannelloni. Yeah. So I find it interesting, Alex.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but we're looking at like chili crab, right? So this is maybe Singaporean influence matched or married with the croquetas. And then you have the Japanese sando matched with the Iberico. And then you have the cannelloni matched with the
With the beef
parmesan
filling,
and the
yeah.
beef filling. I'm very excited. So you can see a lot of influence here.
Yes.
Him taking from all the different travels and rooting it, connecting it all to his childhood. So I think his mom would be proud.
I'm sure. Yet it's
What will
all
you-
small bites.
I love that it's small
So
bites.
These are all tapas to start with.
Try one.
So these are really appetizers, and we encourage our guests to order different options, similar as what we have here.
Or will you try something
I'll
else?
try this
All
one.
right,
but
that's
I'll
good.
let
So
you
we
try
can,
first.
yeah, so you can try this. I can try this, and you can try that. We can take turns. Although I do want a bite of everything because it all looks delicious. So Chef Ivan will be here all the time when Chef Chele is actually out. So they've actually
Correct.
collaborated on the menu and pulled together both of their heritages. Because Chef Ivan is also from Cantabria
Cantabria.
as well.
And they used to work together, and Chef Ivan has also previously worked in the Philippines, which is very important, not only to have authentic Spanish food, but to also understand the market and what the market is expecting and which specific Spanish specialties will work in the local market. And I think these are really good examples. The chili crab croqueta, for example, is a really fast-moving item already.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's creamy, perfectly done, crispy outside, It's not overly spicy. It's just got a little bit of, a hint. So very creamy. I love it. And I can imagine everyone even maybe fighting over the last one and not necessarily arguing whose
properly.
mom made it better.
Yeah, so this is a good combination to have 3 tapas to start with, to get really an idea of the different options and taste the differences as well.
You can. And then, of course, these are meant for sharing. So if you wanted to come down and check out Cantabria, of course, you can make reservations. It's quite spacious. You can come with a family, with friends. I'm excited to hear what you're going to say about this. And I am going to try, I'll use my hands for the sando. I just want to show you guys how pretty that is also with the caviar. So talk about just making something a little bit special with the seafood. This is what Chef Chele was talking about when it was a special occasion. This is where he will go. So I'm gonna.
So our restaurant has close to 70 seats.
Okay.
We are, of course, also open to groups.
Yes.
Gatherings. We have a private room for about 12 to 14 guests. And as you mentioned earlier, we're soon going to have an outdoor area as well, where we're going to offer food and drinks as well, which is on the other side of this restaurant. So it has a wonderful panoramic view as well. So we're also looking forward to open that.
And that will be outdoor.
Yes, correct.
Nice. So you can actually get a view outside, truly a roof deck bar.
That's
Tell
right.
us how your cannelloni was.
Very nice. Very nice taste of the beef and a good portion size, really nice with the bechamel that chef put on top. So good combination.
I want to tell you about my sando. I should have just picked it up and bit it with my hands. I was trying to be polite.
Yeah, it's almost like a sandwich actually.
It is, right? It really is meant to be a sandwich. So I'm going to do that for the next bite. But it's got the sweet tonkatsu sauce with that umami flavor. The Iberico pork is very tender. Again, a mouthful, feeling it's got nice bite. If you guys know Iberico pork, it's the best kind of pork you can enjoy. And it feels like a special occasion as well. So Nino and I actually oh my gosh, it was also from Chef Chele. We ordered, he does this tomahawk of the Iberico pork. And this is like during the pandemic when everybody was at home cooking.
Right.
He would sell these kits also, and you could do it at home.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So we did that at home, and it was fantastic. Hi,
Hello.
Chef.
How is everything so far here?
So
Very
good. I loved the chili crab.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a hint, not overly powering.
Still croquetas.
Yeah. We weren't fighting over though whose mom made croquetas better. And then Alex tried the cannelloni. So
I mentioned that the chili crab croquetas are actually quite popular already. But again, we had other items as well, and the caviar is actually a nice touch on that, which really upgrades that item even more and makes it a premium tapas, so to say.
absolutely, it's premium, and then it gives that those little bites of salty goodness, the briny salty goodness
Yes, correct.
that balances the flavor. So I am going to pick up the next bite. I think Chef went away already. He was so fast.
Yeah.
So I think that means that he's coming out with something else soon. This is exciting. So for you guys, if you want to try Cantabria, as always, whenever we feature the restaurants or, invading someone's home kitchen, whenever we get to try all of these new things, and here we are trying it first. So we're excited to be the first to come into Cantabria and share this with all of you. You will get to try. So as always, we just want you to go ahead and follow cantabria.manila both on Instagram and Facebook. We also are asking that you download the Rappler Communities app. And why do you want to do that? So that you can have fearless foodie conversations. You can talk about so many other things, but of course I am hanging out where there is food and there is travel. So join the foodie travel community, come chat with me. Tell me if your mom makes the best croquetas. And then, chat with us there. Maybe tell us what of the tapas dishes that you would like to enjoy. And then, of course, you will get a chance to come in. One of 5 winners will enjoy a 2,000 peso GC made for in-house dining. So you can come in, just let them know. If you're chosen as one of the lucky winners, you message them the Westin Manila on IG, and that's if you're chosen, and then you'll get to try your own tapas and your own drinks. You can enjoy the beautiful view and maybe say what's up to Chef Ivan. So, all right, I do want to finish these, but I also want to try that as well.
Sure.
So you were talking before Chef came out about the pillars, and so I think we got through sleep and the wellness of exercise as well, and food.
Yes.
Eat well, right? So there are some very healthy options that we featured earlier during our last show. So tell us more about those wellness pillars.
Well, we have in our seasonal taste restaurant an eat well menu, but of course now even in Cantabria with having a lot of meat and seafood dishes with a lot of protein, this is obviously a very healthy type of food as well. So we would like to make sure that we give different options for fish, but also for meats to our guests. There's heavier option, there's lighter options, but we're trying to make sure that we have the whole bandwidth of
for everyone.
Items for everyone, including healthier options as well.
This feels so good to enjoy. The meat is tender, the beef is tender. I'm wondering what cut it is because it's so flavorful, and usually cuts like this usually have a lot of good collagen goodness. The Parmesan cream is delicious and balanced well with the basil oil. So yes. I like that, this is a different way to take it, different take on cannelloni, and I love that everything here is inspired and fused with all the things that we love, but deeply rooted in, I'm sure, what Chef Chele wants us to know that he loves from his heritage and his home.
Yeah, quality of produce is very important for chef to make sure we're using very high quality ingredients, and if they are in combination, they should even taste better than each ingredient by itself.
That's right, the perfect combination. I was also impressed how Chef was saying some of the seafood is actually flown in from Cantabria. Can you ask for anything more authentic than that seafood being brought into the seafood restaurant from Cantabria, the namesake?
Yeah, so these are some of the signatures that we will also see later, but it is part of the concept that we of course also need to consider what actually comes from the Atlantic, which is where Cantabria is located.
Right.
So that's why we have added some of the items from that particular regions, because the way they are prepared in Cantabria works of course best with the fish and with the seafood that is coming from there.
We are ready, but I don't want you to take my plate though.
Okay, sure.
Wait, I'll just put it aside. I'll put it aside. We can take the next one because I'm sure. I'm going to just put this aside and save it for later because I still want to finish it.
Just leave it there. Yeah.
I think that's also, like, as a mother who cooks for her kids, if the kids are like, I'll come back for it, then I know that they really like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
My daughter's going through this thing now, Jelly. She's 12. So she's going through this thing where if she really likes it, even if I think she's still hungry, she'll just say, I'm going to pack it and save it for later. Because she knows also when we're in a restaurant, if she can't finish something, she can pack it and save it for later.
Right.
But she'll turn to me after, I made a bowl of pasta for her or something, and she'll say, Mom, I really like it.
Yeah.
I'm going to pack it and save it for later, even though we're at home.
My daughter does that for her next day in school for lunch.
For lunch, that's what she says.
Yeah.
She says, I pack it and save it for my baon.
Yeah. Well, which is a good sign, right?
Yeah. So I guess we're doing something right. The kids like whole foods.
Yeah.
And they know that they should not be wasteful.
Correct.
Which, of course, I know Chef Chele is mindful of that as well, right?
Yes.
I mean, in terms of the zero waste and making sure that everything is used.
Yeah.
And the kitchen always has to.
Tapas are a good example because they are small bites and portions, so you really do not have any waste from it. As you said, sometimes you fight about the last piece that is left on the plate.
You do. So I know you have big things coming, with this, the newly opened outlet. It's exciting for everyone. As the brand is kind of settling in, right? We were talking about how the past year has been learning experiences, and how I know you've been all over the world with the Marriott brand as well. So with the Westin, how different is when you address or when you come up with a concept like this? How different are the Filipino palates and clients who come in, or guests? And even more so than that, I would imagine that you get a lot of business travelers coming through as well. How do you address all of those different things? And in the past year, what have you learned about the guests who come in?
We re-entered the market with a brand, but in a different location with a very different Westin hotel, which is more of an urban hotel and a high-rise building compared to the Westin that was previously in the Philippines. Now our market consists of corporate travelers who come from various Asian countries, but also from the US. And then at the same time, we also have a lot of guests on daily basis for our events and for our buffets who are locally based and are from the Philippines. So indeed, it's a very different type of palate. And for us, of course, the challenge and the target is to really make sure that we satisfy all of our guests. We had at the beginning less demand for vegetarian or vegan food.
Okay.
This has more evolved. We actually see a lot more corporate traveler that ask for gluten-free options, vegan options. So this was one area of adjustment. Freshness and good taste is always important. So something we also have to maintain. Marriott is also striving to drastically reduce food waste. So in terms of our buffet offerings and portion sizes, we also did some adjustments, but always without compromising quality. And we have over time now started to change our buffet from more quantity to more quality offerings and be more specific on the options we have for vegan, vegetarian guests to make sure that we cater for almost everyone.
Almost everyone. Yeah, I think that's also, this kind of indicative. I love featuring lots of the healthier options and whether it's gluten-free. I mean, I'm not gluten-free. I do enjoy all the different types, but I tend to sometimes go vegan for a little while just because I feel like I need it.
Yeah.
I listen to my body when it comes to that stuff. But I thought it was interesting how you said many of the foreign guests are the ones that would ask for the gluten-free, the vegetarian options, because I noticed that the viewers prefer more steak and meat and unhealthy items than
which we also have
the healthier items. So
yeah.
I noticed that on the the viewers, what they what they enjoy watching.
Correct.
So a lot of them enjoy also comfort. You guys should tell us. Would you go for the meat here in Cantabria, or would you go for the seafood? We want to know.
Yeah.
Inquiring minds want to know. I want to know. So, as always, right?
Yeah, it's important to have various options, and our guests travel a lot. But as you said, they have the dietary requirements. They're also educating themselves
Right.
about the latest food trends and the latest health trends, so that influences their decision on what they eat and what they're trying to avoid to eat. So that also impacts on what we offer on our buffets and what we put on our menus.
Yeah, and because you have, I think, something for pretty much everyone, you have something for everyone, I think that also makes it a choice for foreign travelers as well, especially if they have those dietary restrictions. So I'm excited to see what Chef Chele is going to bring out.
We'll see it in a few minutes.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Chef, this looks amazing. Okay. So Chef has come back again. Oh, this is the black rice. How exciting. I'm going to move this.
That's the squid ink by
Yeah, the rice.
There.
And then
Okay.
let's
So-
show that before you cut it. Can we show that on
Do you want
cam?
to do it in the table?
Yes,
Yeah.
please. It's so beautiful.
Okay,
This is
so-
flown in all the way from Cantabria.
Well, no, this is a local fish.
Okay.
We have also the turbot.
The turbot is the one that's flown in.
Okay, so what is this? I'm going to explain it. So
Okay.
this is, so the turbot is put in the griller. This is how actually we do it in my home. And very typical in the north of Spain. So we roast it first, and then we extract all the collagen. So we do a refrito de ajos, that is garlic, a little bit of chili, and a little bit of vinegar. That's why Filipinos like this very much, because we have the garlic and the sourness of the vinegar that is very Filipino. I think Spanish. I think something that is common in both cultures. And then when we put that in the top, we extract the collagen of the fish. That's why it's a little bit thick.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you the best part, that is that. Okay, and you see how it's flaky inside
Oh
there?
my goodness.
And you smell all, and then we are going to extract here all the sauce. That is what is the magic here.
This whole dish does look like magic. Oh,
Okay, so that is the collagen with the olive oil, with the garlic, with the vinegar that Filipinos so much like garlic and vinegar.
Goodness.
And Spanish we also like.
yes.
And then here is what is the magic in the sauce. Look at
Thank you. I'm
And,
so excited.
preparing a fish at the table.
Is
When I was a hotel trainee in the restaurant, we actually did it, but then over the course of time, this has been stopped, and then the show kitchen came, and then this was not really done anymore. But actually going back to this, it creates a lot of interaction
it does.
to see the whole fish, and especially in Spain, you will experience that a lot, that actually you get shown the whole fish, and then it's prepared
There we go.
and served for you.
Yeah, it does. It feels that much more special to have it served and brought to the table this way.
Okay, now for Joby, help me here, please. We need a sharing spoon. Okay, so we have here how we eat it: a potato cooked in olive oil, a little bit more of the sauce, if you want it. Of course, this goes with the salad. So it's a whole meal.
Yes.
So we have the fish, we have the potatoes, we have the salad, and we have a little bit more of the sauce. And then this is the rice. That I
Let's
said
show that
you.
to the
And
camera.
sometimes paellas are too big, so this is if it's a small couple or smaller group, this goes very traditional Spanish black ink squid stew. And then with that stew, we do the rice, we cook it North of Spain style. Okay, we put in the top a little bit of scallop and squid as well.
It looks delicious. Can't wait to try that too. Thank you, Chef.
So just help yourself and enjoy how we eat it. Food is in the table, family sitting there and enjoy,
Thank
your-
you.
The way it should be done. Fantastic. I'm excited to try this.
So I'll give you some of the potatoes.
Thank you, Alex. So it feels that this is such a special dish. Just how, even all that collagen,
Yeah, so
you
I'll
know?
put that here on the side. Actually very healthy as well. So fits our
Very good.
concept on healthy eating.
Yes, it
Eat
does.
well, as we say in Westin.
We we will eat well. This is, if you guys could smell, smells so fresh. Firm, light. The fish is so good. So balanced. Perfect with, because you guys, when you make perfect subo, perfect bite with the potato and the garlic. The chunks of garlic. That salty sea. It really tastes
Yeah.
like the sea. It's delicious and it's fresh. I want to take another bite, but I also want to tell you about the rice. This was what Chef Chele was telling us. Stews for days. His mom would make,
Yes.
for hours, and then when you when you have that that stew, that's when you then add the rice, right? So I'll just get a little bite.
Yes.
I like that there is scallops and squid.
Squid.
That's a perfect bite. Thank you, Alex.
Give you a piece of the squid as well.
So if you were going to choose, would you choose, something that is a little bit more rich in carbs, or would you choose the fish and the potatoes for you?
Probably the fish and the potatoes. I'm
Yeah.
trying to actually eat more fish,
Fish.
versus carbs, and I feel that you feel better if you eat a meal that is not too heavy, especially fish dishes.
I agree. I think there's a science where they say that what you're craving is actually what you should eat, right? Of course, in moderation, meaning, if you're craving sugar all the time, that's not necessarily a good
True.
thing. But it does, the saying goes, you are what you eat. When you eat lighter, you also feel a little bit lighter. On the other side of that, I think there is definitely a need for that, every now and then. For me, I do crave the steak and the meat, the red meat, the protein, the animal protein. And there's something to be said, especially even about with kids. I think growing up, they need to have a little bit of that as well
True.
for development. But I'm excited to try this, guys. How many of you guys like black paella? This is different than paella because it's a rice dish, more stewy, more creamy. It's almost like a risotto. Again, I taste the salty sea, which is the flavor of the day. Black ink isn't usually a dish, though, you would eat when you're going out on a date, right, guys? Delicious. So there's a balance. I know, maybe if you just wanted to come in and have some drinks and tapas,
Sure.
you can enjoy that. If you wanted to come in and have the fish prepared right at your table and served to you, then, that actually levels up. I can't remember the last time I had fish like that. It was probably in a Chinese restaurant, not in Spanish.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Right? And that's usually grouper. So this is so enjoyable. So if you guys want to learn more about what Cantabria is serving up with Chef Chele and Chef Ivan, you can go ahead and follow them on Instagram, cantabria.manila, and on Facebook. Of course, you will also get a chance to try out the dishes and the cocktails in this beautiful venue here in the Westin on San Miguel Ave, very central to wherever we are, actually. Just took me minutes to come over from BGC, and obviously right in the heart of the city, so very good for you to come and enjoy. Maybe happy hour, afternoon drinks, or
Yes.
even a nice dinner with the family.
You can start with a drink, have some tapas first,
And then go all
or
the
the
way.
other way around, start with a full meal and have some
Drinks,
drinks
after.
after,
Drinks after.
both possible. But Chef mentioned that this is a local fish, so
Yeah.
we mentioned earlier that we have some fishes that come from Spain or from Cantabria, but of course we also prepare local fish and support the local produce,
Absolutely.
which is a very good quality as well.
Yeah.
And we just prepare it in the way it is prepared in Cantabria.
Yeah, traditionally, the authentic way. So I love that you're taking, what's available here as well.
Yeah.
Where we are here?
How was the fish?
So good.
Yeah.
There's such balance there with the herbs, and you can really feel like the collagen that you were saying.
Yes.
I feel healthier eating it already. And the balance of the garlic, it feels so special, actually. We were saying how serving it tableside doesn't happen anymore. So,
So yeah, this is really from my childhood in the table, and this is something that also become quite trendy. I think we are going back, but
Yeah.
with no bones, with a very fine execution. Still, the tradition is there. When we go to the main courses, it's about real good food, and then the tapas it was more creative. So I
Yeah.
think it's a good balance in the menu.
it is. Thank you for that. And this dish I absolutely loved. I wouldn't eat it on a first date because then we might right? But I could eat it with my husband of 26 years, and he won't mind if my teeth are black,
If
right?
the food is good, at the end of the day, it will make smile people with a black tea.
With our black teeth. Thank you, chef. This is delicious. So I only say that also because Nino's brother went on a date once. It was a first date. And they ordered black paella. And he told us about, this date that he went on. And the girl he dated just kept looking at his teeth, but didn't tell him that his teeth were black from eating. So it's so funny. I always remember that
Yeah, I'm
whenever
sure.
I eat. And I try not to make it like,
Excuse me, I can hear you.
yes, you can give it to him, he'll eat it. I feel terrible when it's taken away and then I don't get to finish it.
We have
Obviously-
regular paella as well. So
Yes,
for
he
the
was
first
saying-
date, we have other options in
Seafood.
terms of food. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was saying actually that was something that you guys were discussing, and then he finally conceded and gave the one paella.
Yeah.
So that works. I came from a house that we had to finish what was on our plate.
Yeah.
So taking that away when it's not clean plate club yet,
Yeah.
it
Me too,
pains
actually.
me. It pains me. We had to finish everything on our plate.
You're having someone in the kitchen who
Yes.
gives the clue. Oh, here he
Yes.
is. Yeah.
Wonderful. So we've had our tapas, we've had the fish course, and now
So now we have a steak.
wonderful. So we have a little bit of surf and a little bit of turf.
Yes. And this steak is no beef, it's Iberico pork. So it's one part, it's called presa, that is quite meaty. It's gonna be crispy outside, so Iberico is the best pork in the world.
It is.
It's the Wagyu in the pork. The most important is caramelize, toast well the fat so it will become crispy. Something I believe Filipinos will love very much because it will bring taste,
We
taste and taste. Then we have two sauces, mojos from Canary Island. One is with paprika, the other one is with citrus and a little bit of cilantro. We put a little bit more of this one, so something very Spanish flavors. And I believe this is one of the signatures when we go to the steaks and the meats. This one
is
is
it.
will be my choice.
All right.
Hope so is your choice too.
We're excited. Thank you, Chef. This looks delicious. Okay, so I like how Chef described it. The Iberico is like the Wagyu of beef. So Iberico is the pinica. It's the one that you
Yes.
want to have. If you want the best pork in the world, this is it.
Yeah.
I'm ready to dig in. Shall I serve you first?
No, you go ahead.
You want me to serve
I
myself
skipped
first?
this one.
Okay, that's right. All right, so I will enjoy this. And then the sauce, he said, is there's one is cilantro and citrus based, and the other one is paprika.
Paprika based, yes.
Paprika based. So I'll
So
try
as
that.
we
sauce
all
on
know
the side.
that pork is very famous in the Philippines. Again, this is where we cater for the local palate.
Yes.
With a premium product from Spain that we import, but a very high quality product that is very carefully prepared and seasoned.
Yeah.
So let me know what you think.
Well, anything that has a little bit of fat, we know that that's where the flavor is.
Yes.
So for those of you guys that like a little bit of fat like me, it's got that crust on it that Chef was telling us about.
Yeah.
So it's flavorful. I think the thing with Iberico, it almost has a smoky flavor, but it's not, right? It's the flavors are so much more rich than a regular pork steak or pork chop that you would look for. It's got a little bit of fat, but it's also firm. It's not overly fatty, right? So there are some cuts that you have to kind of cut through, but this is really good because you have the crust. There's a little bit of salt on top.
So you mentioned earlier surf and turf. What we actually recommend, we mentioned at the beginning to order 3-4 different tapas dishes to have different tastes, different produce. So having the fish and having the Iberico pork, for example, both as a main course and share this as a group is a very good option as well. So you have your meat and you have your fish as well.
And you can have a little bit of everything. And of course, just like in Spain,
Sure. Yes.
we are not going to rush through our meals.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Definitely not. Yeah.
It's an institution. We're going to take our time. We're not going to rush. And you can do that right here at the Westin. So guys, go ahead and download the Rappler Communities app. Make sure that you join the food and travel community so we can have a chat, a fearless foodie chat. Maybe it's about Iberico, maybe it's about your favorite pork dish, maybe it's about your favorite seafood dish and how it brings you back to the memory of your own mom making something for you. Tell us what you would like to try here at Cantabria. Make sure you follow cantabria.manila, both on Instagram and on Facebook. And I think we're also following the Westin Manila, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Hopefully.
You have to follow the Westin Manila as well, guys. So go ahead and follow that. And share on your stories because hashtag sharing is caring. We want everybody to know about this new concept that is open in collaboration with Chef Chele Gonzalez and the Westin Manila, where everyone can come and enjoy authentic Spanish cuisine that tastes a little bit of home and brings in a little bit of the modern flavors that we're all familiar with from around the area, even the
Correct.
countries, right? So taking that Spanish cuisine and just offering another layer of, I guess, adventure,
Yeah.
right? So where you can travel by mouth.
We actually had just a few dishes that we were showcasing today, but there is a lot more. Seafood tapas are actually also one of the signatures that we have. And of course, as Chef mentioned, the whole fish, the turbo, which we also have on our menu. So these are some options. And then there is vegetarian dishes as well. We have meat and beef dishes, and of course, a lot more options for seafood and grilled dishes as well.
I'm listening to you talk about all these other dishes, and I'm really thoroughly enjoying my Iberico steak because it's so good. You guys got to come down and try it. So I think Chef is also going to prepare dessert.
Yes.
And then we're going to get to see the seafood bar, which is kind of like the main attraction
Yes.
here,
Yes.
where we can see that.
So the original design of the restaurant was not having such a setup, but in Spain, this is actually very common that you have a bar counter which actually includes a food section or a tapa section, actually, where you actually get served by usually the tapas bar owner who is behind the bar, who serves you the drink and at the same time also prepares the
Your
tapas.
tapas.
So we kind of picked up a bit of this type of concept and put a food preparation portion into the bar so that we have some interaction with the chef and the bartender nearby, which is of course more interesting because you can walk into the restaurant and you can see the display and you can see the fresh seafood there and can actually order from there.
Right then and there. So you can get those fresh raw bites right at the bar with a cocktail to pair.
Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic. All right. Looks like we have something else coming out.
Okay, desserts.
Oh, this looks delish.
Okay, so sobao. Sobao is the most
This sobao.
famous
And this one.
delicacy in Cantabria.
This one.
This one. So sobao is like it's a cake. So we are famous for the seafood. We are famous because the dairies, it's a green, pastures there in the mountains. You go in the road and you see cows everywhere.
And they're very happy.
They're happy cows.
I think so, most of the time, I guess. And then, so we make this recipe of the sobao, this butter sponge cake. It's quite heavy, okay,
Yes.
because the butter is. And then we soak it in cream and milk. So it will be familiar maybe with a tres leches here.
Yeah.
And then we have a cheese ice cream. And of course, during end of the summer, we have a lot of forest berries. And then it's very typical, you make jams during the time that you collect, and then you cook it, and then you put it in jars. And then this is Cantabria, 100% representing my region. This one, let's be creative. And this, is a little bit, flavors around the world. So we have toffee, we have caramel with miso, we have chocolate, and we have coffee.
Ooh.
Okay, so the main flavor profile, we're going to go with caramel, with coffee, and with chocolate.
Yeah. Here.
Okay, mix all together, we have caramelized hazelnut, that it will give, a crispiness and texture also in your mouth. Creativity versus tradition. Just a little bit of creativity as well.
I love it. Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
So you should try first,
Yes.
particularly the ice cream before it melts.
Okay.
Cheese ice cream.
You know what I love about how Chef, like what he has brought out for each of the different courses is how there's at least one dish when he brings it out that is very deeply rooted and authentic to maybe something that reminds him of his childhood or something that his mom used to make. Like I can even imagine
Yes.
his mom making the jam, right? Because
Yep.
that's how we did it then. And then bringing out another dish where there's like miso and caramel and all of like the newer flavors for what sweets, this toffee and the roasted hazelnuts, which obviously all go together. But again, there's influence there from every other place that we might have visited. And thank you. And all of the different palettes or flavor palettes that are surrounding us here, right?
Yes.
So I really can appreciate that. And if for you guys that are going to come in and enjoy a cocktail, a glass of wine, sangria, or tapas, you can really, I guess, experience or enjoy the creativity that Chef has brought to the table, which is juxtaposed, to his traditional roots of
Yes.
Cantabria.
And we find this important because if a dish is not just a dish, but it has a story, it has a background, a personality, so to say, it actually, will remind you next time that you also remember the story behind the dish and not just the flavor.
Yes, and I love that. So the story behind this sponge cake that's soaked in milk or cream, milk or cream, he said. I think he said milk.
Both,
no?
actually. Both, yeah.
Milk and cream. Not overly sweet. So I really enjoy, I think, as an I know I always joke about this. When someone asks you, is the dessert good? Is it good? Yes, it's good. It's not sweet. This has the creamy flavors of the milk, which obviously Chef was saying there's also a lot of dairy production near where he lives. With the tart of the raspberry, right? And the cheesy ice cream.
Yeah.
It's like a perfect bite. And there's crumbles on top. There was crumbles somewhere on top. I tasted them.
Yeah.
I just got a bite of cheese as well. So good.
So really what is available in that region is a variety of produce, and it's actually all part of our menu. So we spoke about the fish, then of course you have the pork, and then, as mentioned earlier, also have beef, but then you have all the dairy products as well that we're tasting now.
The toffee has a rich coffee, earthy flavor, right? And then the miso caramel, you can totally taste the miso, and it's got the salty, sweet flavor. It's like probably a level up from salted caramel. You have miso caramel. Chewy. The coffee is strong, but not overly.
I don't need to ask to choose one.
I couldn't choose one. I had to have both.
Both are wonderful.
They're so good. What I was actually sharing with Alex is how I can really appreciate how you bring something traditional to the table, and then you bring something innovative and like inspired by, your travels or where all the other flavors that we can enjoy. So it's really coming to enjoy both what if we want to know what your childhood was like, then this is something that you
Sobaos,
enjoy.
the reason I put it in milk is because Spanish breakfast is very different. Now, of course, with the globalization is changing, but normally before it was milk that they bring you to the door, you boil it, directly from the cow, long time ago. Now you need to be sanitized and pasteurized and everything. But in my home, and then you have or either sobao or either bread, and then you take, the cream from the milk, or sometimes we do our own homemade butter, and then put it with a little bit of sugar.
And
That's very simple,
Yes.
It's or coffee or hot chocolate or milk by itself. So the sobao is something that, is always around the tables for breakfast, for merienda, and in this case, in Cantabria, for dessert, soak it in milk, how we eat it at home.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's really such a well-balanced menu that I'm sure many diners will come in and enjoy. I know I certainly have. But I also know that there's like one more facet to dining in here that's very special that you wanted to show us. Normally we would enjoy that in the beginning, maybe even just after the tapas. But today we're gonna get to end and wrap with it there.
Yes. So one thing that they wanted to bring in a more innovative way is the new, a new way to eat seafoods.
Yeah.
So we have a show kitchen where we have premium ingredients.
Yes.
And then we don't cook it too much. We want to highlight the fineness and the quality of the ingredient itself. So oysters, scallops, a tartar of different fishes. So something that when you enter to the restaurant is the first thing that you see. It's a little bit more sophisticated. Normally it's by bite or a small ceviche style. Something that is happening in Spain, and we want to highlight. We want to have personality, and I think this is something unique in any Spanish restaurant that is right now in here. So focus in seafoods. That it will be our signature way to start your experience in Cantabria.
Excellent. So we are going to end with it, but you guys want to start with it. So we're going to show you exactly how it's done. And so now we're here at the Seafood Show Kitchen in Cantabria at the Westin with Chef Chele and Chef Ivan. So this is how we would normally start our meals, but because we have the magic here that we can end this way and end with a bang so you guys can see this, just how special it is. Fresh seafood. What do we got? Tell us.
Okay, so we believe this will be one of the heroes, one of our specialties, the turbot that is bring from the Cantabria sea directly to the restaurant, weekly, fresh. Then we have the most iconic ingredient also together, that is the anchovies.
This is the one you were telling me about.
Yes. They said the best anchovies in the world are in a town, fisherman town called Santonia. So this is coming from there. These are delicacies. So I believe all of this is delicacies, that small bites, that is all about quality and very nice ingredients.
Fantastic.
So we wanted to highlight that the first thing when you enter in the restaurant, see the fresh seafood that we manage in the here.
This is exciting, and we cannot get this anywhere else flown in like this. This is it.
Well, hopefully, we are the only ones, because this turbot is wild hook.
Wild, yeah, it's line caught.
Line cut.
It is.
And then the personality of this fish, because the ocean of Cantabria, Atlantic, big waves, is very gelatinous. Yeah. It have a lot of collagen.
So it's very good for us too.
Yes, very good for us.
Excellent. I see scallops here as well. So I'm excited.
Okay, let's start with one oysters. This is a Gallagher oyster.
Okay.
From the Atlantic as well.
Yes.
And then what are we going to do? It can be eaten two ways, or just natural with a little bit of lemon, if someone just are purists in oysters, or with a very traditional way to eat it, with this a little bit of the pickled onion, and then we add a little bit of apple. Because the sweetness, when you eat an oyster, is sweet and sour and ocean flavor. Okay. So what we do here is, let's put a little bit of the pickled onion.
Oh,
we have here the apple.
Just make sure that it's all.
So you can eat it well.
That's so exciting. So Gallagher oysters are from?
This one, I think, Ireland.
Yes,
from
that's
Ireland.
what I thought also.
And then we're going to put a little bit of sibujin oil to give a little bit more of flavor. And here we go. We are going to present it in ice.
Beautifully. And now if you guys notice, Chef is being very careful not to spill any of that juice that's there. That's the most important part.
Okay. Something that respect the ingredient. And in this particular product, we call it sea product, is about, to highlight, the ingredient itself.
Yeah. So this is the best of the best. Gallagher oysters are also,
yes.
Just like your Iberico pork, Gallagher oysters are up there as well.
Delicious.
Yes. Is this for me?
Yeah, if you want to eat it. If you feel to eat it after
yes,
all of it.
I do. Well, it would have been.
Hello.
I have to be careful.
You need to have it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The other way around.
There you go.
Good.
Simple,
So good.
It's just about the ingredient.
The apples.
It makes it the sweetness of the
It's
apple.
like a little pop of tart that's perfect against the briny oyster. So tender and delicious. I feel like I taste the sea again, but that's been the theme because we're here at Cantabria where seafood is key.
Our personality.
Yes.
Even though we have very good steaks as well, but
Well,
this one is just,
yeah, I'm gonna wash while you do that.
Okay. La abrimos,
So
la
you're
abres tú,
preparing the next.
y sacamos.
That was delicious.
Yo no soy muy bueno con ese tipo de cosas.
And there's no other way to eat oysters though, is you have to slurp it. It's not so sexy to eat, but it was good. I wanna wipe. I'm gonna get this.
Okay. That one I can, mientras tú la abres. Okay.
Okay.
Abre. Go ahead.
So now we have the anchovies. The
Anchovies.
best anchovies in the world. From where again?
Santoña in Cantabria.
Santoña. So
Santoña is a fisherman town that they are specialized. Look at that.
oh
They
wow.
put it in olive oil.
It's olive oil, yeah, I was
Yes.
just gonna say. I don't know if you guys can see that. The olive oil. So is this cold shipped as well?
In this section, most everything is cold
Yeah.
because yes, and that is a very fresh and unique way, I believe. You know, in Spain we are very particular of how we eat, and first we like to always start with something cold to open our appetite.
Okay. So
And
that's
then-
why this is the first thing you see when you walk in.
Yes.
Okay.
Then the next we have eggplant, no, Ivan?
Eggplant puree, roasted eggplant puree is actually charred in our grill.
Mm-hmm.
And then over a toast of sourdough. And just top it with anchovy.
How simple. So in terms of the flavors that you're presenting here at the seafood show kitchen, the flavors are simple, but luxurious.
Exactly. It's about premium, fine, delicacy ingredients that we just wanted to put with something, but the star, the hero is in this case, for example, is just the anchovy.
It's just the anchovy.
You know, we have
Okay.
a toast just to give a little bit of body and easier to eat, but looks the size of the anchovy.
It's huge.
It's huge. Normally, you know,
Yeah.
and when you taste it, it's not going to be too salty. It's not going to have any bone. And you know that artisanal way to clean it, to choose the bigger ones, to cure, is an artisanal, traditional heritage that in Cantabria we're very proud of.
Okay. I'm excited to try this also. So you can order this by the piece.
By piece, by
Right?
piece.
So we would enjoy this.
You know what? Just take the anchovy by itself.
The bite, just the anchovy.
Yeah. So it's meaty.
It is.
It's not too salty, right?
Not at all. I mean, it's got the bite of the salt, but
Yes.
not overly like others.
That is one of the signs, the meaty, don't find bones, to don't be too salty. That is signs, of course, how delicate it is in your mouth. That is the sign of what is a good anchovy.
It is. It is delicate. The creamy, smoky eggplant on top of the sourdough. It's perfection. Perfect bite.
Thank you.
Do we have more?
Yes, we have more. So, no worries.
more.
And then we are going to finish. Okay, I'm going to remove this from here.
This is such a special treat for me.
But this is it's a very, it looks like you are in a Japanese restaurant at some point, respecting the ingredients. Okay, last one is gonna be scallops. This one is Hokkaido scallops that is raw We are going to dress it a little bit with extra olive oil from Spain.
Okay.
And we're going to put a little bit of caviar. And we're going to put a little bit of white chocolate and a puree of celeriac.
Okay. So you'll have the creamy, sweet scallop, the Hokkaido scallop, which scallops are actually my favorite type of sashimi.
Ooh,
because I will really enjoy this.
I think you're going to be happy then with this one.
And then you have the chocolate, you said, and you're going to the celeriac.
Yes, so we dress it a little bit with olive oil, not much. A little bit of salt. And then we have here a tartlet.
So cute.
So cute. And
I'm
then
gonna
we
guess
have
you're
the
gonna put it on
celeriac
this?
puree. Yes.
Okay.
That we're going to put in the bottom to give body and a little bit of texture. We're going to put a point there, so
So
the
it won't fly away.
Exactly.
Look at all the little tricks.
Okay.
So you have the Hokkaido scallops, you have Gallagher oysters, you have caviar, you have turbo flown in from Cantabria, from Spain, and all of these against the beautiful city backdrop
Yes.
here in the heart of Ortigas Center. So
And then we're going to put white chocolate.
oh my gosh, this is going to be like a party. All those different flavors with the crunch of the tartlet. I know what I think this is going to be my fave.
Let's put
What an exciting little
Let's don't
time
lose
for
this
us
part
here to be
here.
able to watch Chef put this together
okay.
here at Cantabria. So I don't think I showed it to you guys when I bit the last two. Oh my gosh, I didn't, but this is so special. I want to show it to you guys as well. I think I forgot to show the others because I got so excited. Sorry. You guys will just have to come down and see it and try it for yourself.
So it's the maximum respect for the ingredient. Try to highlight the other, components is just to give a round body of the, ingredient itself. So because the scallop is sweet, the white chocolate goes very well. Please have a bite.
I think I have to
One-
pop the whole thing though,
Yes,
because
go ahead.
I don't want to bite and risk losing any of it in my
So it's,
body.
it's go to like a Japanese, omakase sushi.
You have to
counter
eat the whole thing. You
Yes.
do. So cheers, guys, here at Cantabria with Hokkaido scallops. It's so good. The tartlet just cradling those sweet Hokkaido scallops, the briny caviar, the chocolate tying it all together, the white chocolate tying it all together.
And the celeriac also give more complexity.
It does. The layers there, it's so delicious. Such a treat. I can see why this is the showcase. When you come in, Chef Chele and Chef Ivan's utmost respect for the best ingredients to serve you here as you start your meal. I like that. And then so you start with the cold, you work your way through the tapas, and then of course you can enjoy your mains, either surf or turf here at Cantabria with, of course, even the desserts, all the way down to the desserts that are deeply rooted in your tradition. And I'm so glad that you're sharing this with us.
Thank you very much.
All right, so at the end of every episode, Chef, you're going to be in this too, so you might as well come in close He's not hearing, he's hearing these questions. So what is going to happen now is we ask really fast questions, and you can answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. So as we wrap, of course, guys, make sure you download the Rappler Communities app. Go ahead and tell us what you loved most about this episode in the food and travel chat. Tag me. I want to hear what you think. Also, make sure you follow Cantabria.Manila on Instagram and Facebook, and also the Westin Manila on Instagram and Facebook as well, so that you can get a chance to enjoy some of these delicious treats that I have had the pleasure and the privilege of enjoying first here in Cantabria. Okay, first question. Who influenced your relationship with food?
My trip to Galicia with my sister and my mom when I was 6 years old.
Wow. So, like, specific pinpoint in history, no? Who influenced your relationship with food?
Well, I think my mom.
Your mom?
She was working in the kitchen while she was pregnant of me.
Yeah?
So I think from that beginning I was already
In the kitchen.
in the
You're
kitchen.
ready in the kitchen,
I grew
of
up-
course.
I grew up
You
in
grew
the
up in
kitchen, so
Favorite food as a kid?
meatballs.
Meatballs.
Oh, I think steak.
Steak. Favorite cuisine as an adult?
Or Filipino, Spanish, Japanese.
Wow, you said Filipino first.
I like all. I mean, right now you cannot choose one cuisine.
It's so hard, right?
it's so hard.
And you can bring in a little bit of everything,
Yes.
too.
Me, Middle Eastern.
Middle Eastern.
Influence of the Middle Eastern food in Spain.
Okay.
In South Spain cuisine, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, favorite dish to prepare?
Where? In Cantabria?
In Cantabria.
Turbot, of course.
Okay.
It's so delicacy, and when you have so much respect for so beautiful ingredient and product, to cook it is something that you put like, oof, you even are scared, because you give so much respect.
Aw. I really like that. Favorite food guru?
Guru?
Alan Ducas. Yeah.
Anthony Luis Aduriz.
Okay. Favorite hobby when not in the restaurant or many restaurants?
Music for me.
Music.
Music.
How about
Any
you?
aquatic sport.
Any aquatic sport?
Could be scuba diving. That's why there is some here in Philippines.
All right. Music in the kitchen, yes or no?
No.
No. Not even at home?
At home, yes. Yes, if I'm cooking at home just for, enjoying. But in a professional kitchen, even that right now, I let the people during mise en place or prep,
Yes.
but during service, you need to be focused.
That's right. That's why everything is done so well.
Yeah, we have our own music in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I think-
All the yelling.
No, just anytime that you cook, that's music. I mean, you need to hear.
Yes.
Like when
the
you're frying,
sizzle
when you saute
and
in.
the
That is-
char.
it's our
yeah.
music.
That is right.
Yeah,
you
it
could
is.
probably make a song from that too. Take out or dine in?
Oh, take out? No. Prohibited? No. Once in a while.
Bawal, take out.
But it changes a lot the food. Once in a while, I think everybody takes out maybe a soup or
When
whatever.
you're tired.
Yes, but
Yeah.
definitely fresh food done a la minute is a different world.
Dine in. Okay. 2 foods that go together but don't go together.
2 food that goes together. Okay, white chocolate, caviar.
And Hokkaido scallops. That's what I was going to say. Any kitchen or dining accessory that you collect?
Spatulas or scissors. Right now is very much to be precise. And
Yeah, I think that's like anyone in fine dining, those are your tools in addition to everything else that you might have back there. Okay, you're on the sofa watching a movie. What's on your snack board?
Popcorn for me, always.
Popcorn for Chef Ivan.
if I can afford it every time, jamón ibérico.
I'm coming
Let's
over
be
to
fancy.
your- I'm,
Let's
I'm
be
gonna,
fancy.
I'm gonna watch a movie in your house. Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Both.
Both. Yeah, I can
A
do
meal
both
cannot
too.
be out without
I can do
sweet
both
and
too.
savory.
Okay,
That is not a good meal.
it should have both. I agree. Surf or turf?
Surf.
Turf.
In the ocean, I mean, surfing.
I choose both. I choose both, especially if I'm here in Cantabria. You can have your surf and enjoy fresh fish flown in from Spain, turbot flown in from Spain, along with Hokkaido scallops, Gallagher oysters, and caviar, of course. And then you can have your Iberico steak. So for me, I choose both.
Very, very, very good. I will do the same.
Paella.
We're aligned.
We're aligned. We're aligned. Paella or rice?
Rice.
Rice, because that's what you grew up with.
Yeah, right, of course.
Rice. Pork Iberico or beef steak? So
Iberico steak. At least in Cantabria, yes.
Iberico.
Sure.
Iberico.
Yeah.
Even
The
for Chef
best
Ivan.
pork in the world. Our Wagyu. In pork.
Yes. Anchovies or lobster?
Anchovies. You can say lobster.
Anchovies, yeah.
Can I choose both again?
Okay.
I want to choose both again. Spanish. Okay.
Lobster in the world too, eh?
You do?
Yeah,
Really?
we have the blue ones.
Yeah.
Very,
Cantabria,
yeah,
yeah.
Cantabria. The
So
same.
it's like a rock lobster?
Yeah, well, it's a blue, light blue ones, and they're, there are not so many,
Like Boston lobster.
Ah, okay.
but, huge,
No,
yeah, lighter
Not
blues, yeah.
Okay, this one's hard. Spanish wine or Spanish wine?
I think I will choose a Spanish wine.
I think so too. Arnacha or Tempranillo?
Carnacho.
For me, garnacha too.
Okay. Okay, this one's for you, chef. Carlos Sainz or Fernando Alonso? You watch
Fernando
F1?
Alonso, because he's from the north, and he used to be a hero always. So, yes, north of Spain, Cantabria, Fernando Alonso.
Nando. All right. All right, here's the two last. Sinigang or kare-kare?
Sinigang.
Ah, sinigang and kare-kare.
Yeah.
Both.
He likes soups a lot. He is a soup lover.
Okay.
And acidity, I mean, I'm
You
kare-kare for me something
meaty.
special.
It is something
Has good
special.
memories.
It is. For me too.
Both.
For me too. All right, and the last, this is interesting. I want to see which you guys enjoy. Tapa or tocino?
Tapa.
Tapa. Tapa across the board, guys. I think the only episode was the last one where people said that they love tocino. That's it. That wraps us here at Cantabria. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
having us and for treating us to such a wonderful meal and experience. If you guys want to come down, check them out at the Westin Manila here on San Miguel Ave in Ortigas Center, of course, on the 32nd floor. Beautiful view. Make sure that you come by and try this beautiful fresh seafood and, of course, the delicious Iberico steak and everything in between. As always, guys, keep cooking, keep sharing, and keep safe. Bye-bye.
Bye.